everyone. Welcome to John Redmann, Power of Attorney, the show that aims to empower you through increasing your knowledge of the law. I'm Attorney John Redmann.
And I'm Shauna Sanford. Thanks so much for joining us. This week, we're going to be talking about a subject that hits close to home for many of you, child custody disputes. Now, child custody can become incredibly contentious when parents decide they want to go their separate ways, and often that leads them to the court.
How do the courts determine what's in the best interest of the child? How do you afford an attorney? What options are there? Our guest today is attorney and Loyola law professor Bobby Hargis, and he's going to share some helpful and encouraging insights and answer your questions too.
That's right, and remember, we want to hear from you. All of your legal questions are welcome. You can email them to questions@johnredmannpoa.com, post them on our Facebook wall at facebook.com/johnredmannpoa, or you can tweet us at johnredmannpoa.
That's right, and we'd like to thank all of the people who have written us with all kinds of great questions. We'll try to get all your questions on the air, and if not, we hope to answer all of them online. But before we get into this important topic, let's first, as always, get to the news. Shauna?
All right, thank you, John. The U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that the Army Corps of Engineers is not liable for flood damage in the Lower Ninth Ward and St. Bernard Parish during Hurricane Katrina. Now, this reversed a decision made by a lower court in a class action lawsuit. And, John, this is really a big ruling in this case.
It's devastating to so many thousands of people. The same court, the same three-judge panel in the federal court, in this decision undid what they previously approved, another decision in favor of homeowners, and took away that judgment. They said the Corps of Engineers is immune, and that's bad news for everybody. We'll see what happens with that. We'll talk more about it next week, too.
Okay, all right. In another story concerning BP, it's now been more than 2 years since the BP Deepwater Horizon oil disaster. Now, that killed 11 men, and it is the worst recorded offshore oil spill in U.S. history. And this week, in a New Orleans federal court, it was revealed that Transocean, the company that owned and operated the rig, knew about the blowout preventer's potential for failure as many as 2 months before the explosion. Now, this comes as the result of an email by an employee.
It's sort of a smoking gun revelation. In other words, if you know that you have a product that has a serious safety concern, and a blowout preventer is what prevents the blowout that caused the disaster that takes many lives and causes this huge spill, then you have certain obligations under the law. And if they knew about it, if other companies doing business with them knew about it, then it's a big deal, and it's very bad news for the company that failed to take steps to fix that blowout preventer before they used it.
Now, what does this do to BP and Halliburton? Because Transocean has said, you know, it was faulty design. That was the cause of the well, and that they should share in the blame. What is this information to do them? Excellent
question. There may be fault to go around. There may be other parts of the machinery of the rig that contributed to the disaster as well. There may be what's called comparative fault. You have some fault because you did this wrong, company A. You have fault because your blowout preventer failed and you knew it was going to fail or might fail. So the judge or jury in the case can decide who's at fault in what percentages. It could be a shared fault.
Okay, another story that's really big. A state court ruled last week in 2 separate cases that could help pave the way for Jefferson Parish to get its traffic camera program up and running again. So this is very important. We want to sort of bring folks up to date on this. That program was suspended in 2010. What is this? Where are we now with this?
Who living in the city of New Orleans, in Jefferson Parish, isn't completely fed up with these traffic cameras? Some people see a safety value in it. Most people are very fed up with it. It's a hot button topic. Yeah. The fact is that these traffic cameras produce a lot of revenue for a lot of people, and that lobbyists got a piece of the action is one of the reasons why the Jefferson Parish suspended it. The courts just said that's not a reason to suspend it. And so it's going to be an ongoing debate. We're actually going to make traffic cameras a subject of one of our future shows, so watch for that, everybody. We'll be talking about it.
Okay, another great topic. But when we get back, attorney Bobby Hargis joins us in studio to talk about child custody. Now, if you or someone you know is dealing with this issue, send in your questions. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.